have a lot of stories I could tell, a lot of juicy stories. Today's story is about this guy who we'll call him Ray J. I don't even know where to begin. Give me a second, let me get the jitters out. Alright. Me and Ray J met on a dating app, and me and Ray J started off as really good friends. To kind of sum up the type of person that Ray J was, he was like super antisocial. He really stayed to himself. He only went to work and home. That was pretty much his lifestyle. And for me, obviously, I'm the complete opposite. I'm an extrovert. So right from the start, we kind of knew that it wasn't a match, but we continued to see each other because, you know, rather have someone than to be lonely. So at that time, Ray J was working at HEB. I really hope he never sees this video because I'm kind of exposing him. He worked the night shift, so I can never really see him during the day because he was sleeping throughout the day. So the only times I was ever able to see him were during the night, like before he'd go to work. He'd maybe carve out an hour or two to spend with me, and then he'd go to work. That's pretty much how we spent our time. Girls, we tend to form attachments to boys whenever we spend a lot of time with them and we get to know them. I don't know why I got attached, but I did. He would know like little things that would stress me out, so he kind of like talked to me about them and calm me down and stuff. So I feel like somewhere in between the relationship, or whatever you want to call it, he did begin to form some type of connection with me as well. I wouldn't say I was the only one that had that connection. So time went on, and eventually Ray J told me that he couldn't see me anymore because at this point COVID was like really hitting. Like, he like stopped texting me completely, and to go from like every single day speaking to just nothing, I just don't get that. So I was kind of hurt by it. I ended up texting him telling him we don't talk anymore.
We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore.
He ended up telling me that nothing's changed for him. He just can't see me. But I'm one of those people, like, my love language is definitely communication. Like, if you don't communicate with me, like, at all, I can go without the touching. I can go without the, like, you know, all the other signs of love language. I can go without certain things, but communication is definitely top notch for me, because if we don't communicate, then I just feel isolated, left alone. So should we just like call it quits? He was like, look, I work night shifts, I'm sleep all day, there's nothing I can really do about it. So because of his action he took there, I was like, I ended up blocking him and just deleting him out of my life. It hurt me to do that, but at the same time I just didn't like the way he treated me towards the end. It's like he lost all interest. He came off that way. That's what he perceived to be. They change their mind as often as I change my underwear, which is very frequently, okay? Very, very frequently. So I think a good month went by without us talking or communicating. But in that amount of time, I ended up rekindling a friendship with like someone I met in the past, which is now my boyfriend, but that's a whole other story. We weren't seeing each other like hardcore at that time, but we were striking up conversations for sure. So like my eyes were kind of on him at that point. He ended up, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So because I blocked Ray J on Snapchat and I deleted his number and blocked him, obviously he still had my personal number. So he contacted my number through a different phone number, which I didn't know it was him until like I asked, who is this? And he was like, it's Ray J. I was like, how'd you find me? He ended up telling me that he missed me and he wondered why I was blocking him and stuff. I didn't reply to the initial message. I just kind of blocked the number again. Something in my gut just kind of told me it's time to move on from that situation because I was gaining nothing from it. Like we were kind of using each other, you know? And he would sometimes come off like we're in a relationship, but he didn't want the title and he didn't want the responsibility. But pretty much he ended up texting me like a week or two after I blocked that number, and he was like, howdy. I got scared at this point because I'm like, how does he keep finding different numbers to contact me through? Like, I blocked that number and the other number, so you're obviously either using someone else's phone or you have like backup phones. I don't know who you think you are, but So much time had passed at that point that I was already kind of starting an actual relationship with the guy I was talking to. So I couldn't do that. But I didn't want to tell him because I didn't want to make him think that I was doing some sly shit behind his back. I really wasn't. This guy kept contacting me. I kept blocking and deleting. I even had my best friend to vouch for me. I didn't want him back, but he kept crawling back, so it just got really difficult to eventually not ignore that, you know? So the final time that he texted me, and this is the final time that it ever happened, it hasn't happened since, I replied back. This is what the message said. The message said, "Howdy. I know you hate me, but I love you. Please take me back."
Oh, no.
So that short amount of time, I could be wrong, but that's not enough time for me to fall in love at all. And I knew he wasn't in love. Like, come on. What creeped me out the most is the fact that he kept contacting me through different numbers. So I asked him, I was like, why and how do you keep having like different phone numbers to contact me through? And he told me that he used burner phones to contact me. Either he had the phones already just in a drawer somewhere, or he bought phones, like temporary phones, just to contact me. Either way, it's creepy, and that kind of scared me because I was like, dude, you go through this much stress, this much pressure to find me, to contact me, and you know I'm blocking these numbers. So he didn't do it one time, he didn't do it 2 times, he didn't do it 3 times, he did it 4 times until he struck gold and got me to actually respond and be like, stop texting me. It was kind of laughable. I remember showing my best friend and she was like, what? Yeah, I don't know. That's what made me reply, I don't love you and I don't hate you. I just don't want to be with you anymore. I was experiencing such a positive relationship with the man that I'm with now that I didn't want him back. I didn't want that toxic situation of us just using each other for no reason. Like, and it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't productive at all. My boyfriend now, in the beginning of our relationship, he still does this obviously, but definitely in the beginning, we'd go on adventures and we'd really get to know each other and dig deep into what our interests are. That made me open my eyes so much because he was interested in knowing who I am. If a man is interested, he will show that he's interested and he wants you. After I sent this message, he started sending me long paragraphs about why I was wrong for unadding him and blocking him, and how he wasn't able to explain his side of the story. So I'm a nice person. I decided to let him explain his side of the story. And then he went on a whole rant about how he missed talking to me and how he missed that I was just his friend at the end of the day. And he asked if we can just be friends. I mean, I'm one of those females. So if you come back and you want forgiveness, I'm willing to do that because I'm God. I'm joking, obviously. I'm not Jesus. So whenever he asked me for that chance of friendship, I told him if it's straight up strictly a friendship with no strings attached to that, without you hoping we'll ever be back together or anything like that, I'm definitely down for that. I told him, I was like, I am seeing someone and we're dating right now. He's not my boyfriend yet. That hasn't been said yet, but we are dating right now. Like this was early on in my relationship with my boyfriend and nothing was set in stone. So I was just telling him like, my eyes are completely focused on this one person. So don't play me, don't try me, don't test me. So he knew that from the jump. In the back of my head, I kind of knew I have to be prepared at any point to cut it off. After that, we went like a good solid week and he texts me every now and again and we have conversations just about the day and stuff like that. Then he wanted to hang out. I got a little scared at this point because boys, there are 2 versions of hanging out and hanging out. I told him we can go to a public place because I'd feel more comfortable if we just didn't come to my place or his place. Like at that point that'd kind of be suspicious, you know? So he agreed. We were going to go to P. Terry's or something like that to go eat. Now, I never made it to that meetup. That same day when we were supposed to meet up, he was texting me telling me like, oh, friends kiss, friends do this, friends do that. And I'm like, friends don't do that. Not my type of friends. At least I don't walk around kissing my friends on the lips. That's not what I do. I don't do that. I ended up telling him, look, you need to get it through your head that I'm not going to be doing any of that with it. I'm not going to be doing any of that with you. So either we cancel this now or we can go and you just keep your hands to yourself because I'm not down with it. Like I told you, I'm seeing somebody, so let it go. and he kind of got upset at this point, and he was like, why wouldn't you take me back? At that point, I knew he had other motives other than just trying to be my friend, because no friend or someone that's trying to be your friend would ever pressure you into kissing them or anything like that, like after you both agree that it's going to be a platonic type of situation. So I ended up canceling the whole thing, and I told him, no, I don't want to see you in person. And frankly, even if I do continue to be your friend, it's going to be a while before I see you in person, because I just lost all trust. I already lost trust, but now for sure, there's no trust. Like, it's gone. At that point, the man that I was seeing at that time became my boyfriend, and I just thought to myself, hey, Nana. Hey. What you doing up here? Oh, my baby. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Ah, not my makeup. So at that point, I decided to myself, I wouldn't like it if my boyfriend was talking to an ex of any sort, trying to like be their friend, and if the ex was trying to get at them, that would make me very uncomfortable. So I decided, for the safety, I guess, of our relationship, that it's best to just cut it off. So that's what I did. Snip, snip. Don't like me. I blocked his number again, and I really hoped and prayed that he'd never contact me again, because I didn't want to have to keep blocking him and blocking him and blocking him and blocking him. You know, that would get exhausting after a certain point. And he knew my address, so I was scared that he would kind of pull up one day, but he never did, from what I know. So, ow, my back! Oh, not my back. So ever since that point, I haven't heard from him, and yeah, I think that's for the best. There were times where he crosses my brain because, you know, you've dealt with someone who kind of stalks you a little bit, you know what I mean? I just kind of hope that he's found another person to help him through the days, I guess, and just makes him happy and is meant for him, because like I said, we were totally opposite. He knows that I'm happy, and that hurt him, which hurt me a little bit, because I know what it feels like to be in the opposite position, trust me. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop my happiness just to make someone that I would be less happy with happy. So if you take anything away from this story at all, or if you relate to it at all, just remember, sometimes you gotta let people go, and like, they're not gonna like it, they're gonna come at you, they might even blame you for everything. This is in regards to friendship as well. But at the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself and do what's best for yourself, because I'm telling you, they will try to hunt you down, they will try to distract you, they will try to be unhappy for you, they will try to be jealous of you, they will try to ruin your happiness. I'm deserving to feel loved, I'm deserving to have someone that accepts me for every little wrong thing with me, you know what I mean? I deserve to have that. And they do too. There's nothing wrong with them having that as well, but they can't keep you from that. No one can keep you from that but yourself. And I'm so glad I didn't fall down that rabbit hole of just weirdness and, you know. And because I didn't fall for what Satan was throwing at me, I ended up having a beautiful relationship and still having one, and it's thriving and it's flourishing, and I'm just happy that I passed that test, because I feel like it straight up was a test. It didn't happen 1 or 2 times, it happened like 3 to 4 times, and that's the godly number. I'm glad that it happened, because it showed me how much that I've grown. Back then, I used to wait by the phone. I'm telling you, wait, like, just waiting to hear back from the people that either left me or I left them. I don't know, I was really weird about that. I always hoped that they'd come back somehow, and they never did. But the one time that someone did come back and it just wasn't the right time and I didn't want it, I was able to say no. I was able to tell them that I'm happier in this situation and I don't want anything to do with that negative situation anymore, and that I deserve better. I'm growing. I'm just really happy, because had I made the wrong decision, I would be in a totally different place right now. And yeah. Anyways, that's the end of this story and of this video and of Ray J. Make sure you protect yourself out here. Make sure you get to know who you're getting to know. Make sure you understand the consequences of dating apps. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen my other dating app video, you need to go watch it, because I'm telling you, sis, you need to watch yourself out here on these apps, and watch yourself. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can be part of the Bougie Babe.
Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?